Galloway tears apart Piers Morgan's take on Iran, exposing Western hypocrisy and showing who really speaks for the world.
Relax. It's just a dream. We are closed. I have a reservation. Private club. Go away. Hey, bro, wanna go open the door of her? I'm a little busy today, bro. If you come. What do you want now? Like, you don't open her for me? Okay, bro, my car broke down. Come on. Hey. Hey, bro, doing laundry.
Push that like button. Push that like button. Come on in. How y'all doing? Push that like button. If you like these French fries, one French fry at a time, push that like button. If you like your French fries, one French fry at a time, push that like button. If you like to bite your burger and eat your French fries with your burger at the same time, push the like button. If you got enough money in your pocket to buy your hamburger like this right now, that means you blessed. Push the like button. So you ain't got no money in your pocket. Out of the 15 people that's watching, they ain't got the money in their pocket to buy a hamburger. So they ain't grateful, so they don't want to push the like button. I understand. So y'all watching me eat. Y'all hungry? Y'all hungry? I can teach you how to make some money, and you can be able to buy a burger like this. Mm. Man, I love potato fries. Push that like button. Mm. 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 It's so good. Mm. 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 So good. Push that like button. What you say? You said teach me? Teach you how to make money? I can teach you how to make money. Looks good. Hi. What's up, Tam? Yeah, boy. What's up, man? Well, I need $40. What's the quickest way? Well, the cheapest service I offer is $50. So I can teach you how to make at least 50 off the rip. It ain't enough for 40. 40 ain't enough. I do got something on my board, $40. Yep, I got something on my board, $40. Yeah. If you like to eat one fry at a time, push the like button. Thank you for the love. Thanks for the likes. Danny who? What's up, Danny? Pretty Danny. I'm eating fries too. That's what's up. A grown man can't even sit down and have a meal without wanting to be on live. Sound like you jealous because you a grown ass man that ain't got no money to buy a meal or a cell phone with your own data to go live. I understand. This is what you want to do. What are you watching me on free Wi-Fi somewhere? On your phone that you need to pay your phone bill? You need to focus on making money online. Keep playing them slot machine things. That game and shit. He had Bobo's chicken. No, man. This called TNT. Hot box your box. Kaboom. That shit right here so good. Say, why don't you go live after you ate? Because when I go live, I'm taking a break. And so when I'm taking a break, if this is what I can do in between my break, put a little food on my stomach, to nourish my mind and nourish my system, and give me some energy. All my other people understand, but you don't. I've been working since 6 o'clock this morning. You probably didn't get out the bed to 9 o'clock. By the time you got out the bed, I'd already made almost $1,000. But it's okay. I'm gonna teach you how to make $40 a day. Push that like button. What do you do for work? Well, I really don't work. I have fun. I have 3 girls that make me a lot of money. And bitches do not stop. They do not. They don't let up. And they pay me every day. They just give me the money. 3 women. I got 3 girls, dog. Now I'm gonna teach you this gift. And when I give it to you, you're gonna be one of the coldest ones to ever do it. So what? You say he on Section 8. How I'm on Section 8? How I'm on Section 8? I just wonder how that happened. You guys know you don't have to watch, right? You can keep scrolling. Thank you. That's one of my moderators. So even if you say something negative, if you don't know who you're watching, you ought to sit down and pay attention for a while. Game is sold, not told. But bless me. I'm finna bless you, brother. I'm trying to. I'm just trying to get past the negative comments and the distractions from me teaching you how to fish. I can teach you how to fish, and you can feed your family. You can feed yourself. Now you can come over here and look at my bucket. My bucket pretty full. You can't have none, but I'm gonna teach you how to fish so you can fill your own bucket up. You know what I mean? Now, if I can teach you how to fish before the end of this afternoon, if you go out there and go fishing and don't catch nothing, I'll let you have a piece of my fish. But I guarantee you, if you learn what I teach you, you pay attention to everything I say, and I guarantee you, you will have more than $40 by the end of the day. All you need is 3 ladies. 3 ladies. One name is Lana. One name is Finisher. And the other one is called O'Stay. You gotta get you an O'Shea. As long as you got an O'Shea, you got it. Can you comprehend what I'm talking about right now? You taking notes? See, mm, he spent the lineup money on the food. Yeah, I charge $50 for a lineup. You probably pay less than $50 for a whole haircut. That just goes to show you ain't never had a real lineup before or a real haircut.
Base 44 lets you build real backend-powered apps in minutes. Here's how it works. Head over to base44.com. It's an AI-powered creation platform for building real backend-powered apps in minutes. No setup. Oh, the garbage man. Like short. Garbage man, you get 3 hours. You get 8 hours worth of work, but you can do it in 3. So you go home as soon as you finish. Post office, you get 3 hours worth of work and made it last 8. I did both. I like being a garbage man better. They weren't bad jobs. It's like that, people say, oh, the difficulty of making a movie. I'm like, let's send your son there to rap. It's just a movie. It's like, relax. I don't play that precious nonsense. Oh, move over, get out of here. Your son got shot in the face. That's difficult. Making a movie is a luxury. It's a gift. It's an opportunity, and most importantly, it's a gift. Obviously, everybody is talented enough to do that, but don't get it twisted. It's just a movie. It ain't that big a deal. I was a garbage man. Who like Detroit? Garbage man. Have you seen the lines of cars stretching for blocks, in some cases for miles, waiting to get past? I have seen the pictures, and you cannot. But you have imported more oil than any time in the past. Well, not recently, we haven't. You have. You mean we are still importing more oil than we were, let's say, in September? Do you believe that? I can't say for sure. But what is certain is that you are not importing less. And when we were importing last September, then this whole thing is a fraud? You know that ships are changing their destinations 2 or 3 times in the oceans. You sell the oil for a certain destination and it ends up somewhere else. What you seem to be saying is that there is some fraud involved, or that there is something going on that doesn't meet the eye. Or something is going on for sure. And who is being enriched by it? Oil companies. Oil companies. You know that one oil company has made 67% interest this year, and another one even more. Well, the president of Aramco acknowledges. Yes. Not the president, the chairman of the board of Aramco acknowledged to us that their profits, the parent company, will go up by 400% next year, just as Iran's profits will go up. Yes, but this is our wealth, our natural wealth. For them, it's only a question of manipulation. Have you seen the lines of cars stretching for blocks, in some cases for miles, waiting to get past? I have seen the pictures, and you cannot. But you have imported more oil than any time in the past. Well, not recently, we haven't. Which is the most toxic energy drink brand in the United States? Most Americans might know that the cleanest energy drink brand in the USA is Celsius. So, which is the most toxic energy drink brand in the United States? 5th place, Monster Energy by Monster Beverage. Monster Energy is loaded with massive caffeine, high sugar, artificial colors, and taurine overload. Tasting Jeep Grand Cherokee from the 90s had what the fucking oil system I had. Bernard, aren't you embarrassed by this? A great fighter having to fight a mandatory that's by the rules. I have to fight because they would do like Roy Jones didn't want him to do before he fought John Reese. Don't tell me about John. If I didn't fight Larry, stop being ignorant. If I didn't fight and defend my mandatory with the WBC, they restrict me. And I don't care what you say or anybody else say. This is my life. It's my prerogative. You do your job, I do mine. You think anybody wants to see this kind of fight again? Well, it don't matter if they want to see it again. Well, how do you get paid if nobody wants to see it? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not leaving out here without a check tonight. So let me tell you something. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what kind of degree you got, but I got paid tonight. But I can assure you it won't happen again. Well, I'll tell you what, Larry, unless you got problems other than being a commentator, then that's a part of the business and part of the problem. So since you exposed that to the world, let's move on to other issues. I want to fight the junior middleweight champions, so-called the best. Isn't it embarrassing for the middleweight champion in the world to be calling out junior middleweight champions? Junior middleweights is only 5 or 6 pounds away from middleweight. I mean, junior middleweight's always been middleweights. Come on now, Larry. 15 years ago, they ain't had junior weight classes in boxing. It was welterweight, middleweight. Come on, Larry. Isn't it embarrassing when other fighters call each other out in different weight classes? So why is this so different? Because it's Bernard Hopkins? Yeah. Are you part of the system or are you with the system? Ricky Wright is saying he wants to call you. Do you want to fight Ricky Wright? Well, is Ricky Wright paying me or who's buying the fight? It depends on what the license fee is. It depends on what my share is. I don't fight just to be fighting. I did enough of that on Philadelphia streets in Philadelphia for free. So yes, I will fight anybody. But the fight is no problem. You got to make the fight. The dollars got to make sense, and we can move on and even see better fights. Larry, I'm having that. You guys want to get paid for my labor like any other working class citizen in America. Well, it looks like tonight you got paid for doing not much. Let me tell you something, Larry. You get paid every day when the people are not doing much. Wow. All right. Bernard, aren't you embarrassed by this? A great fighter having to fight. A mandatory is by rules. I have to fight because they would do like Roy Jones didn't want him to do before he fought John Reese. Don't tell me about John. Anybody else? If I didn't fight Larry, stop being ignorant. If I didn't fight and defend my mandatory with the WBC, they would strip me. 2026 digital marketing ins and outs. Let's do it.
This is the story of a miracle, how a nation went from being carved up to being reborn. After World War I, the Ottoman Empire was divided up. Britain took control of Iraq, Transjordan, and Palestine. France, meanwhile, occupied Syria, Lebanon, and the region of Cilicia. The Hejaz and North Yemen declared independence. Plans were drawn to create an untapped Armenian state and an autonomous Kurdistan in the east. Italy occupied the southwest, including the Antalya region. Eastern Thrace and Izmir were handed over to Greece. The Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits were placed under Allied control. What remained of the Ottoman Empire was just a small patch in central Anatolia. In May 1919, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk landed in Istanbul and began organizing a national republic in the fight to reclaim the nation from people. He first aligned with Kurdish forces and launched an offensive against Turkey, quickly defeating his army and reclaiming the eastern territory. He then turned south against French forces, who were already overstretched by the Alleged Imperium and unwilling to commit further troops. Eventually, through negotiations, France withdrew from the southern region. In the west, the first offensive, but was repeatedly pushed back by Turkish forces. Then came the counter. At Dunkirk, the main Greek army was destroyed, and Izmir was retaken. Seeing Greece collapse, Italy chose to withdraw from the southwest. At this point, only British forces remained, guarding the straits, while France and Italy had already pulled out. Unwilling to stand alone, Britain chose negotiation. The Allies agreed to withdraw, and Greece evacuated eastern Thrace. With that, Turkey completed the final piece of its territory. In 1923, the Ottoman Sultanate was abolished, and the Republic of Turkey officially founded. This is the story of a miracle, how a nation went from being carved up to being reborn. After World War I, the Ottoman Empire was divided up. Britain took control of Iraq, Transjordan, and Palestine. France, meanwhile, occupied Syria, Lebanon, and the region of Cilicia. The Hejaz and North Yemen declared independence. Plans were drawn to create an untapped Armenian state and an autonomous Kurdistan in the east. Italy occupied the southwest, including the Antalya region. Eastern Thrace and Izmir were handed over to Greece.
Push that like button. Show me some love.
Under Allied control. What remained of the Ottoman Empire was just a small patch in central Anatolia. In May 1919, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk was president. Did you know why invading this country in Europe is nearly
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go down this hill. Should we go down the hill? You still got pimps? Let me get some of those. I know I can tell because your car's so motherfucking loud. Yeah. The leaf blower. The leaf blower. It was. You have a problem. You know that? I'm gonna figure out what your disorder is. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. Every time I ask him for a secret, he light it. No, this was I was finna pull out. That's why I had the cigarettes in my hand, nigga. I was pulling out one, nigga. This was for me, nigga. You gonna light and suck my shit? I don't know. I just got the weed. I get that in my mouth. When I get it packed, nigga asking for a cigarette, I'm gonna light one first. I need two of those. One more actually.
What bike is that?
A black dude. That motherfucker clean though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that motherfucker clean.
Got the Harley orange screws in that shit.
That's some new shit.
Yeah, it's a new shit.
2025?
26.
That light look hard as a motherfucker. That's all that shit look like. Nigga ready for war. No, you came up here peeling rubber.
OG. I'm over clean. I like it.
It's that new green, that new fucking shit that they be having on these Toyotas. That gray. I want that gray though, that little looking gray shit. That shit look hard. I'll be back up for to go down this hill, man. I'll see you in a minute.
You say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not coming to see you.
Bro said he just ate and need to eat sig more. Said show us the bike. It's a whole bunch of people around it right now. Everybody staring at it. Push that like button.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction.
Robbing 3 men at gunpoint and kidnapping them at a Dallas record studio.
The court documents only refer to the victims by their initials. One victim, called RD, is described as the owner of the 1017 record label, which was founded by rapper Gucci Mane, whose real name is Radrick Davis, RD. The Department of Justice says the incident began with a dispute over a record contract. Fox 4's David Septembri is here with more tonight. David.
Yeah, well, this was disguised as a traditional business meeting, but then it turned into an ambush.
I'll make you big.
Lontrell Williams Jr., a well-known rapper by the stage name Pooh Shiesty, was on house arrest for a firearms conviction related to drug trafficking when the Department of Justice says he led a group to rob and kidnap 3 people inside a Dallas recording studio back in January. The motive? So Pooh Shiesty could get out of a record contract with rapper Gucci Mane's label, the new 1017 Records.
We're not talking about low-level rappers here, guys who are trying to make it.
TMZ tells Fox 4 to let go of Pooh Shiesty would have been a financial blow to Gucci Mane's record label.
He had a lot of artists under his label, and then he made a decision that he was going to let go a lot of those artists. One of the very few, though, that he held on to happened to be Pooh Shiesty, because, again, Pooh Shiesty is somebody who's got a lot of fans. He's got hit music, and certainly somebody that Gucci Mane could be profitable.
According to a criminal complaint, Pooh Shiesty was upset with contract terms. Surveillance images show Pooh Shiesty, his father, and 7 others before they enter the studio. Once inside, Pooh Shiesty pulled what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol, pointing it at the head of a victim, labeled RD, demanding RD sign contractual release paperwork. RD complied. Gucci Mane's legal name, Roderick Davis, matches those initials.
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence.
That wasn't the end of it. The feds say the group robbed the victims of expensive jewelry and cash.
One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
Pooh Shiesty lives in Frisco, according to the complaint, but investigators say most of the alleged accomplices traveling from Memphis, Tennessee, were staying at a Dallas hotel the day of the ambush. including accomplice Rodney Wright Jr., a rapper with the stage name Big 30. Social media posts reportedly show suspect Terrence Rogers wearing a variety of jewelry believed to be stolen during the robbery, even stolen sneakers. There's also a post highlighting a large amount of cash. Footage from Memphis shows federal investigators collecting evidence at the home of Pooh Shiesty's father, Bontrell Williams Sr. That was on Wednesday, the day most suspects were arrested.
We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these.
8 of those 9 suspects in custody. Feds still looking for one more, possibly in Georgia.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving, you need to try this.
Because if you were in a car accident in the last
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. President Trump's warned Iran of more attacks to come after the United States and Israel launched strikes on civilian infrastructure in Iran. On Thursday, the U.S. bombed a major bridge under construction in the city of Karaj, west of Tehran, then attacked it again about an hour later as emergency crews were assisting the wounded. Iran says the double tap strike on the B-1 suspension bridge killed 8 people and wounded nearly 100 others. The head of the construction company building the bridge said it had absolutely no military use and warned its destruction will worsen traffic for more than a dozen provinces in Iran.
If this is help, please redefine that term for me. They destroy infrastructure to push the country backward and weaken the spirit of our people.
Separately, Iran says U.S.-Israeli airstrikes have destroyed the Pasteur Institute of Iran, a century-old medical research center that's played a key role in combating infectious diseases in the Middle East. Iran's Red Crescent says U.S.-Israeli strikes have hit more than 113,000 civilian sites, including homes and schools, killing more than 2,000 people, including women and children, with at least 21,000 injured. Maria Martinez is the head of the Red Crescent's delegation for Iran.
We estimate that at least 3% of the population has been displaced. This represents around 1 million families, 3 million people.
Iran has published a list of major bridges across the Persian Gulf region it said could come under tit-for-tat retaliation following the U.S.-Israeli coalition strike on the B-1 bridge earlier in the day. Iran's targets include bridges in Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and the King Fahd Causeway linking Saudi Arabia to the island nation of Bahrain. Iran's threat of escalation came as it announced a wave of drone and missile attacks on Gulf nations, including U.S.-owned steel plants in the UAE and a weapons factory in Israel. Iran said one attack targeted a data center of the U.S. software company Oracle in Dubai. UK denied the claim. Iran also said it's
all the time we shared. I remember when we ocean. I remember when I gave up loving you. My heart could take no more. I was sad and lonely. I remember when I walked out. I remember when the freak I hated you. Sometimes this I still love you. Sad and lonely. Going through all the pain I went through, all the love I saved deep in my heart for you. You know where I go, where I will be, but you made me leave. And that's my heart, just not telling me so. Oh, I remember when tomorrow, I
March within a designated area set by police during a massive pro-Palestine demonstration in London last year. Ben Jamal of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and Chris Nynam of the Stop the War Coalition said they would appeal the convictions. In a statement, Human Rights Watch said the verdict was intended to intimidate and silence dissenting voices to the UK's ongoing support for the Israeli government war crimes. Meanwhile, in France, police I remember when I gave up loving you. My heart couldn't take no more. I was sad and lonely. I remember when I thought that. I remember when I said I hated you. But I still love you. Sad and lonely. I remember when I thought that. President Trump has fired Pam Bondi from her position as U.S. Attorney General. It's reports that the current administration finds prosecuting Bondi is the second cabinet member to be fired by Trump since he retook the White House after former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was ousted in March. Trump said his former criminal defense attorney, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, would serve as acting U.S. Attorney General. Meanwhile, Lee Zeldin, who currently heads the Environmental Protection Agency, is reportedly a top contender to replace Bondi as Attorney General. Bondi was a Trump loyalist who oversaw the Justice Department's disastrous handling of the Epstein files. Her firing comes just months after a heated congressional hearing in which Bondi refused to apologize to Epstein survivors who were present in the room for the DOJ's failure to fully redact their names in the Epstein files. California Congressmember Robert Garcia said in a statement, quote, "She will not escape accountability and remains legally obligated to appear before our committee under oath," referring to a House Oversight Committee subpoena issued against Bondi last month, set for April 14th. On Thursday, Congressmember Ro Khanna said Senate Democrats should impede the nomination of a new U.S. Attorney General until all Epstein files without redactions have been released.
Democrats must insist that any new Attorney General will release the remaining 3 million files with no redactions other than protecting the survivors. The new Attorney General must commit to investigating and prosecuting people who are all over these files and raped or abused these girls. And the new Attorney General must commit to not using the Justice Department for political prosecutions. It is not enough to replace one Trump sycophant with another.
We will speak with constitutional law professor David Cole after headlines. The White House is preparing to unveil a record-shattering Pentagon budget request of $1.5 trillion for the next fiscal year. It's by far the largest year-over-year increase in a presidential military spending request since World War II. It includes funding for F-35 stealth fighter jets, new warships, including Virginia-class submarines, and Trump's Golden Dome missile defense shield, which the White House says will cost $185 billion. Meanwhile, President Trump has said the U.S. cannot afford to pay for social programs like daycare, Medicare, and Medicaid amidst record military spending. Trump spoke during a White House Easter lunch on Wednesday.
It's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things. They can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection. We have to guard the country.
A new report by Oxfam International finds the wealthiest 0.1% of the world's people are hiding more than $2.8 trillion in offshore accounts to avoid paying taxes. That's more wealth than is owned by the poorest half of humanity, more than 4 billion people. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has fired the Army's Chief of Staff, General Randy George, along with 2 other top generals. A Pentagon spokesperson gave no reason for Thursday's abrupt firings. General George has served as a senior assistant to former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin under President Biden. The New York Times reports he recently clashed with Hegseth over Hegseth's decision to block the promotion of 4 Army officers to become 1-star generals. 2 of them are Black, the other 2 are women. Meanwhile, Democrats on the Senate Armed Services Committee are pushing for an investigation into a Financial Times report which found Hegseth attempted to make a multi-million-dollar investment in arms company stocks just weeks before President Trump joined Israel in its attack on Iran. The Trump administration's deported 12 people to Uganda, marking the first known arrival of immigrants expelled from the U.S. to the African country since striking a so-called third country agreement. Trump has pushed to deport immigrants from the U.S. to countries they have no ties to as part of his brutal immigration campaign. The Uganda Law Society vowed legal challenges, saying those deported were, quote, effectively dumped in Uganda through an undignified, harrowing, and dehumanizing process that's reduced the deportees to little more than chattel for the benefit of private interests on both sides of the Atlantic, unquote. Other African countries have agreed to receive U.S. deportees under Trump, including Eswatini, Ghana, Rwanda, and South Sudan. A Venezuelan man is suing the Trump administration after he says he was illegally detained and deported from the United States while Salvador's.
They finna start sending the deportees to Africa. Hell no. Well, Africans finna get Mexicans and everybody over there. But it's a damn shame. They finna start sending the deportees to Africa, man. That's fucked up.
The Trump administration knowingly and unlawfully locked up an innocent person for 4 months in a concentration camp-like prison where he suffered torture, shooting, beatings, and solitary confinement. Our client suffered catastrophic injuries in Sekot from which he will never fully recover, he said. And environmental groups have sued the Trump administration for removing protections for endangered species in the Gulf of Mexico to allow oil and gas offshore drilling. The unprecedented blanket exemption would leave several Gulf species and ecosystems vulnerable to extinction, including the critically endangered Rice's whale. The move was approved by a 6-member committee chaired by Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth invoked the vote, claiming that lifting the Endangered Species Act protections in the Gulf was a matter of national security as the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran has disrupted global oil supplies. The Sierra Club said in a statement, quote, the Trump administration's playing God with our most vulnerable wildlife by deciding which endangered species are worth saving and which can be sentenced to extinction to pad oil and gas profits. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman, joined by Democracy Now!'s Juan Gonzalez in Chicago. Hi, Juan.
Hi, Amy, and welcome to all of our listeners and viewers across the country and around the world.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience-supported journalism, go to democracynow.org, where you can download our news app, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to the daily podcast, and so much more.
Every loan officer is talking about AI right now, but we actually built it. AI that thinks like a loan officer, quotes deals, prices programs, follows up with borrowers, connects you directly with investors ready to fund deals. This isn't some chatbot gimmick. It's a full system built from real underwriting conversations. It knows DSCR, fix and flip, bridge, round up, and it can instantly tell which lender fits which deal. While everyone else is guessing with spreadsheets, you're quoting deals in seconds. While they're juggling CRMs and follow-ups, your AI is already booking the call. Relic is the edge. Marketing, AI, and lending, all in one platform. We didn't replace the loan officer. We built something that finally works with you. If you want to learn more, click the link, book a meeting, and check out how AI can help.
Let me tell you a secret. After a car accident, the people who get paid the most are usually the ones who don't play by the insurance company's rules. People call it cheating the system. Insurance companies call it being difficult. I call it not getting played. And if you want to...
Folks, it's looking like Pooh Shiesty is going to go down as one of the dumbest criminals in human history, one of the most misguided, stupid rappers that threw away possibly the biggest opportunity that anybody has ever had in their life. It is embarrassing, folks. And today, rappers, celebrities, the news, mainstream media is waking up to this news and picking apart the pieces of this sad story. So I'm going to give you guys a big update on the Pooh Shiesty situation today, some of the new information that's come out, some of the reactions, and everybody basically agrees that Pooh Shiesty is one of the most moronic rappers, one of the most moronic millionaires, one of the dumbest drillers that has ever graced a microphone. Okay, so look, here it is. Mainstream media are continuing to report on this. People are trying to get to all of the details about what happened with Pooh and Gucci Mane. And it is just, the details just get more and more ridiculous as time goes on.
We have some new developments tonight as federal investigators are still searching for a ninth suspect in a case involving Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane. Authorities say that he was kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint.
8 people.
6 months ago, a penthouse on Palm Jumeirah sold for $40 million. Last week, the same building listed a unit for less than the price of a used car dealership in Ohio. Nobody is talking about this.
Iran has a lot on its plate right now, and amid all of this, an earthquake struck the country last week. The epicenter was close to Semnan, a city in northern Iran. At any other point in time, no one would care about something like this, but this one is different. And that's because of the timing. It's suspicious. The internet has made up its mind. They're calling it a nuclear test. Iran's first underground nuclear test. Do nuclear tests cause tremors? The answer is yes, they do. Any underground nuclear detonation can cause seismic activity. In 2019, a Washington-based think tank released a report. It said that Iran was building underground testing sites, and one likely location was Semnan. Now, 5 years later, West Asia is on the edge. Iran has to prove its might, and on cue, an earthquake occurs at the very same place. So a lot of people joined the dots and said this must be a nuclear test. Of course, it's hard to prove. There isn't enough evidence. Iran has a lot on its plate right now, and amid all of this,
How the Zionist regime reacts to a mere siren. These are ordinary people. These are Israeli officials. Now let's look at how Iran reacts, not to sirens, but to bombings.
This is the head of Iran's judiciary. Notice how he didn't even blink. And this is just an ordinary little girl who has more resilience and courage than any Israeli official or even military officer. How the Zionist regime reacts to a mere siren. These are ordinary people. These are
Star once told him the greatest headlines so here we go. And the feeling as advertised comes right at my As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that did. Right on the door. Leave you treated like a punk. You know, you better watch how you're talking and when you're walking. Or you and the homies might be lying. So I really hate the trip, but I gotta look. As they I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. I'm standing up for the light. I'm standing up for the light. As I'm valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks.
Andrew, if there might be Andrew, if there might be
Did you know that you can California people?
Hell no. Damn! Oh shit! Oh my god! Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck is going on? Damn me weekend. Hey, we damn near dead. the fuck? It's a motherfucker flipped over right here in the truck. Hell no. Damn! Oh shit! Oh my god! Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck going on? Damn me weekend. He damn near dead. Yeah. No, that's his phone he got in his hand. Damn, they tweaking. Oh my god, what the fuck? It's a motherfucker flipped over right here in the truck.
10 years, Tyler. I've worked here for 10 years. I brought in 80% of our clients. I grew this company from a 6-man operation to a 60-person machine. I've given you 20-hour days, man. At nights, away from my wife and children. My father died, man. And on the day of his memorial, you sent me pears, which I'm allergic to. And you know this. Because at the lunch where you hired me, we ate Roquefort salad and I went into anaphylactic shock. And along with the pears that could have killed me, you sent a card with a 1-line homework message and a typed out signature from the team. And for all this, Tyler, I thank you. You see, for days I've been plagued by this question. How do I honor my father's legacy? And so here it is, Tyler. I quit. Hold on. No more feelings. I walk out of here trying. I came, I saw, I conquered. Sandra, it's all you now, brother. Peace. 10 years, Tyler. I've worked here for 10 years. I brought in 80% of our clients. I grew this company from a 6-man operation to a 60-person machine. I've given you 20-hour days, man. At nights, away from my wife and children. My father died, man. And on the day of his memorial, you sent me pears, which I'm allergic to. And you know this. Because at the lunch where you hired me, we ate Roquefort salad and I went into anaphylactic shock. And along with the pears that could have killed me, you sent a card with a 1-line homework message and a typed out signature from the team. And for all this, Tyler, I thank you. You see, for days I've been plagued by this question. How do I honor my father's legacy? And so here it is, Tyler. I quit. Hold on. No more feelings, man. I walk out of here trying. I came, I saw, I conquered. Sandra, it's all you now, brother. Peace. Timmy.
This company is looking for homeowners to trial these brand new panels.
You live on stolen land.
You drink stolen water, you eat stolen fruit. I find you fascinating, Mr. Diane. I really do. I can't understand how you have such self-assurance. A man who was born in Argentina, whose family comes from the Ukraine, and is actually wanting people, sensible people, to believe that he has some connection with my country. You and your fellow settlers, nothing other than common thieves. You live on stolen land, you drink stolen water, you eat stolen fruit.
I run a business making $100K a month, and this is what I do every single day. Watch this. I use Realize to run my ads every.
Got him. Oh, he accelerating something crazy. Y'all can get it, though. He out of there. That traffic might work against him, though. He might as well stay on the shoulder. Did he get off the shoulder? He's out of there. No brain cells. He's gone. I don't see him go. I definitely don't see him. He replaced it with his own assistant.
He replaced it with his own. Now, I'm telling you, man, listen to me. The whole Pam Bondi thing with Todd Blanche, that was already there, although Todd Blanche will be worse.
Wait, hold on. That's one thing I do not understand. Okay, Pam Bondi's a woman. If you want to go down the gender road, we can talk about that. But you don't get rid of Pam Bondi. I mean, that's a ride or die woman. I mean, like she literally put your faith.
But if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night.